Hey everybody, this is Cannonville34 here. Wanted to show you something I did with my SKS that I didn't show in my original video that I thought was worth mentioning. Pretty neat, actually. There's several other videos out there about it, but I'll show you. We got the magazine here. That's empty. The gun is empty. You can see there, nothing down in the chamber, nothing there. Just a quick little rack there to show you. But anyway, so we'll take this apart, which we all know how hard that is. There we go. Trying to be gentle. I don't like scratching, or I know it's a cheap gun, but it bothers me. So we'll pull that out, and we'll pull this out right here. And I'll show you this little mod that I did. Here, we'll just set this aside. So this is your bolt, or part of your bolt carrier assembly. And what I did was I came in here. This is called the it's a bolt modification, so that you can drop or insert your mags with the bolt closed. And you can see here how it's been routed out, if you will. I actually use a Dremel tool, so we'll call it dremeled out. There on the bottom of it, you can see this ran straight across here to here and here to here. A lot of guys, or a lot of the videos I've seen, instructional videos on this, they actually came in and just ground this whole area down, took all this meat, all that off of there on a big angle and stuff. And yeah, you can do that, but I don't know. I just, cheap gun or expensive gun, if I buy it, I like it, so I want to take care of it. And I just think it's kind of barbaric just to go in there and I'm just going to grind all that crap out of there. It's just silly. So I took the time and I put my bolt into the receiver, and put my magazine in and out of there, trying to check where the locations were at, and then I made some marks on it, So I marked out where the rear portion of the bolt, which is, we'll show you here. Hopefully this will give you a little help. And I don't mean this to be completely an instructional video. I just wanted to give you an idea for what I did. Towards the rear portion where your bolt sets in here, you can tell exactly where it stops, because where your magazine release is and where your bolt catch is. So you can kind of tell exactly where that magazine sets up in there, where for sure it's going to clear at. So I took from that point on the rifle, marking the bolt on the back, and I measured the distance to the front on my magazine here. So I measured the distance from this point here, your magazine or your bolt catch. This is the portion of the mag here, if you can see that causes your bolt to lock back into position, your bolt catch, if you will. So I measured from that point to the front, right here, where your lip is to hold the bolts in place. So I measured that, transferred those measurements from the marks I had made here to the front, and you can see I didn't square it off. I went ahead and rounded it and gave it some relief. I like the thought of no sharp edges. So I can rub my fingers on this, no issues. It won't catch me, it doesn't cut me, they're not sharp, they're not pointed, they are greasy. So, But you know, I did that. You just don't want any sharp edges, or in my opinion, you know, on something on a moving part like this, there's no need for those sharp edges, especially when you're using polymer mags. You know, it may come in through there and remove plastic or whatever, and you know, you don't want that stuff inside your gun. So just take the sharp edges off of it. But anyway, but all you really have to do is I came in on about a 22.5-degree angle and worked it with a Dremel tool, just a round or cone shaped Dremel tool, and I worked it down and I took my time with it on both sides. But you can see on the front of the bolt here, right there, there's two ledges. There's the main ledge, or the ledge you can see falling to the bottom here, and the next ledge down, and there's actually three, and then it goes down one more ledge. Well, this second ledge, this middle ledge, if you will, is where you're grinding that to, and that's as far as it needs to go, is to that second ledge, and no deeper. So you just grind this top ledge, or I guess bottom actually, because the bolt sets like this. So you take this bottom ledge and you grind it out until it's smooth with your second ledge there, or the immediate ledge that it's next to, because that is where that clears and fits inside the magazine. So it gives plenty of room across that portion for the bolt to slide through the magazine. So, and I guess really on this side it has more like 3 ledges. On this side it's more like 2 ledges, and I think hope you can see that there. But anyway, if you have an SKS, you'll get what I'm talking about, because you'll be able to see it when you're looking. You know, the bolt goes in this way. When you're looking at this side of the weapon system, you'll see that there are 3 ledges. When you're looking at this side of the weapon system, you will see that there are 2 ledges. And then you have your extractor here that pulls your bolt and ejects it out, or your extractor. Sorry, it's your extractor. Anyway, so yeah, you just take that small portion off, and again, I ground it down to the same thickness as this, rounded it off, rounded the front, rounded the back, and done. Drop it back in, and I'll show you here. Get some of this grease off my hands. But you take this, load it up. Let's see if I can remember. Here we go. I don't know. You know, I've often wondered this, and I've seen you guys do it different ways. I always put the weird crinkly end. I'm sure there is a proper terminology for it, but for this video, let's call it the weird crinkly end. So I always take the weird crinkly end, and I run it up in the bolt, just because I think that, in my opinion, is the right way to do it, because inside the bolt, it'll hold that all in place and won't allow it to wiggle, if you will. So anyway, so there you have it. We've got it back together, and I just want to show you, our bolt is down. As you can see, no smoke and mirrors here. And we're just going to take this magazine, and boom, there you go. You're locked in place. We'll give it a couple good little tugs here, so you can see we're good. Bolt catch. You can see. Drop your mag. Drop your bolt. You can do that with and you'll see in one of my other videos I actually show me shooting this gun at the range, and you'll be able to see where I insert the magazine loaded, rack the slide, and you know, off to the races. Shot 20 rounds through the weapon, fired flawlessly. I think that's an attribute or an accolade, if you will, or praise that you can give to Tapco. You know, they've got a really good follower in this magazine that keeps those bullets positioned as good as possible, I guess, as you can, given the weapon system, to drive it into the chamber properly.